well, my dear friends, as we call them, the media partners, thank you so much for your presence this morning. I won't be having a very long speech because I know journalists are quite pressed for time and we want substance more than speeches. I'll just set a little background just to explain why this event is taking place today. Last year, we had a discussion with the MBA because we are having a joint program for financial literacy. And this discussion, over a lunchtime with my friend Kamlesh, we found that there was a need at the level of the media, not because we want to patronize the media, far from it, but there was a need for the media to better understand what the Bank of Mauritius was doing. I know that there was also this image of a central bank that has been quite conservative across time, that was cloaked in some sort of secrecy because, you know, it's central banking, and we are not usually an institution that opens up readily to explain to people what it is doing, because, you know, the notion is that central banking is something very complex and that no one will understand it. But in 2016, when the communications department was set up at the bank, that was for one simple objective. It was just to show that the bank was doing an extremely hard work, very good work, that there was a number of things going on, and that those things should be made available within the grasp of the media. So this is what I would say is crystallizing this event today. I understand that the Media Trust also is focused on training journalists, and I think it's a very good thing that we are joining hands today, so that this benefits the audience that we want to see here, which is, in the case, those ladies and gentlemen from the media. This is the first of a series of media training sessions that we'll be holding. Why we want to do it is that we know that people from the media can't just leave their newsrooms and attend a training session. So I understand that most of you have been designated by your respective media houses to stand in today for this full-day course. And we want to give the opportunity to your other colleagues so that the newsroom is not left empty, but people still can benefit from the training. I would thank, first of all, our resource persons today from the MBA, from the Bank of Mauritius, who have been working quite hard over the past week to put up presentations that will provide you with a very simple view of what the bank is doing in terms of its core mandate. That is, for example, Soumaj, who is also the secretary to the Monetary Policy Committee, will be explaining to you the process behind monetary policy. We'll also have a presentation on financial markets and also on reputational risk, and a very interesting insight into the media and how its perception is guided, be it rightly or wrongly, very often when it comes to looking at the banking industry. And my dear friend Daniel Lissou will be providing you this insight on how the banking industry is today. I'd like now to invite Mr. Mathieu, for his speech. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, good morning. I'm delighted to welcome you all in this joint session in my capacity as Vice Chairman of MBA, by the way also CEO of Standard Chartered Bank Mauritius, which I used to say has a privilege to have a USP, a unique selling point of being the only global bank bullish on the African continent with a presence in Mauritius. That is unique to Standard Chartered. But I'd also like to start by thanking Bank of Mauritius for welcoming us in their impressive auditorium. Ladies and gentlemen, collaboration of the MBA and BOM bears testament to the close working relationship between Bank of Mauritius and MBA. Shared agenda for the development of a sound banking industry in Mauritius for the benefit of all. Since 1988-89, Mauritius has set up its IFC, International Financial Center. In that time, the financial services sector has grown to represent around 12% of the GDP today, with banking as the main component representing about 7 to 8%. Highly regulated, well-regarded, Mauritius IFC now ranks 54th out of 102 globally, but most importantly, the second largest in sub-Saharan Africa after Johannesburg. When we look at the data, this is a proud achievement for Mauritius and a force for good in this region. For those of you who are familiar with the IFC landscape, you will know that an IFC is fundamentally a response to the ineffectiveness, the inefficiency, and the hardship of doing business in mainland. Case in point, Singapore for Malaysia, Indonesia, mainland China, Hong Kong for mainland China, Dubai for Middle East, and Mauritius for India at the very beginning, and increasingly for Africa and other jurisdictions, even in Asia. That's why we have 5 factors of competitiveness in the GFCI ranking. GFCI is the Global Financial Center Index. Those 5 factors are the business environment, for which, by the way, Mauritius belongs to the G20 club because we are not number 20 globally when it comes to ease of doing business. Financial sector development, that is the second. The infrastructure, although this morning we're having some problem with traffic, but we still have a very good infrastructure compared to other markets. Human capital, and the fifth one, ladies and gentlemen, is reputation. Reputation is very important, and this is where communication and media plays a critical role. By the way, the GFCI, those of you who would like to get further information, is published twice a year in March and September. In that context, banks play a very important role in any given financial sector. In fact, people tend to forget the societal purpose of banking and only see the large profits some banks are making and the bonus paid to some senior executives. A survey conducted in the middle of the financial crisis in 2008 in the US revealed that bankers were only ranked second to last, better than only one profession. Guess which one? Prostitute. Goes in front. This is true. I even got to also discover when I came here in 2015 that a former governor was referring to banks or bankers as banksters. You might have heard about this. It is true that some players have moved away from the societal purpose of our industry. This came as a wake-up call for professionals to refocus and communicate on the societal purpose of our industry. In fact, the societal purpose of the banking industry, just like any other industry, architects, medical doctors, journalists, is to help people buy their homes and grow their wealth when dealing with consumers or retail banking segment. Help companies set up and develop, fueling growth for job creation and in some cases poverty alleviation when dealing with corporate and institutional banking, also known as wholesale banking. Dealing in both segments, i.e. retail and wholesale, being obviously what we call universal banking model. Like any other industry, to fulfill our societal purpose, we have KPIs. And we have value propositions to deliver those KPIs. The leading KPI for consumer banking is the banking penetration rate. In Mauritius, we have the privilege to have an official banking penetration rate of 90%, 90%. In Sub-Saharan Africa, an average would be about 15-20% depending on market. So Mauritius is very advanced in that sense. On the other segment, remember corporate and institution, I mentioned retail and then corporate and institution. On the corporate and institution, the KPI would be the total banking asset as a percentage of GDP. That's the leading indicator of how the banking sector operates in the market. In Mauritius, that ratio is about 294%. The combined segment and segment B. So it's important to understand, to know whether or not we do it, we fulfill our social purpose. We have banking, we have value propositions. What are the value propositions of the consumer banking? Current account, I'm sure you all have current account, savings account, loans, car loans, mortgage, credit card, etc. What are the value propositions when we're dealing with corporate and institutional banking? Cash management solutions, i.e. collection and payment with treasury management in between, trade, both domestic, where you have supply chain financing or cross-border trade, loan and agency services, including custody and also known as security services, lending obviously short-term, medium-term, and long-term, whether bilateral, club and club deals, or syndications, risk management, including hedging, foreign exchange, spot, forward options, project finance, structured trade finance, debt capital market, mergers and acquisition, advanced services, etc., etc. Coming back specifically to Mauritius, it happens that when we Google Mauritius financial services, we get a very mixed picture, both in the local and international press. One of the criticisms that the banking sector has faced is that it does not communicate enough. Therefore, this initiative is in response to this criticism, our greatest engagement with media. The MBA also has a mandate not only to communicate, but also to build capacity within the banking sector and with key partners. The media community is an important partner for the financial service sector. Banks operate not only in a thriving democracy, but also in an open, liberalized market. Some of you may be familiar with an important economic theory, the efficient market hypothesis. This hypothesis states that asset price reflects all available information. Therefore, the flow of reliable information is central to the functioning of the economy. This is part of the reason why several rules regulating financial services regulate the dissemination of information. Companies have to make certain announcements at given times. Investors depend on information, and the press serves a vital role in relaying reliable information to them. The flow of information can have a material impact on financial business. For example, on the risk rating of a jurisdiction or the share price of the company. Every time Donald Trump sends a tweet or there is a new development on Brexit, the pound-dollar rate fluctuates. Therefore, the banking sector has a duty to communicate appropriately to ensure that financial reporting is correct. Ladies and gentlemen, you will therefore agree at this juncture with me the belief that the information is the hottest commodity in any given market. It is in recognition of this important role that Bank of Mauritius and MBA are organizing this training event with the Media Trust. We thank the Media Trust for facilitating this session. The objective is to provide an insight into the functioning of the banking system in Mauritius. It is a vast topic, but we hope that the session will provide a good overview. Wishing you all a productive session, and thank you for your kind attention.
Vice Chairman of MBA, CEO of Standard Chartered, proud sponsor of Liverpool Football Club.
Thank you.
Mr. Daniel Issu, CEO of the MBA, and high-ranking officers and everybody from the central bank, our host for today. It's kind of emotional for me standing here because 20 years ago, I was a junior reporter to a junior reporter, and I was delegated to cover an event here in the old building. And it was kind of highly emotional because going to the central bank was reserved to senior journalists. But things have changed, the building have changed, the setting is different, and I thank the Bank of Mauritius for allowing us here. When it comes to the world of financial reporting, everybody sees it as something difficult. It's all about crunching the data, it's all about following the money. But it's all about understanding the financial landscape. In 2017, there was a company called Sign-Off. The auditor refused to sign off on their financial statement. The company collapsed and lost 90% of its market value within an hour. It's all because all the journalists who were writing the stories, they did their homework, they knew about the company and interpreted the data properly. And through this first training, I won't say that's training, but interactive day with the MBA and Central Bank, I hope that we will learn and we will translate what we've learned to our readers and translate the right message. And I wish you all a fruitful day within the Central Bank.